Hello, I'm Nafeesah Young, a school psychologist at Sacramento City Unified School District. On behalf of Sac City Unified and the Sacramento City Teachers Association, I'd like to wish you a happy Black History Month. In 1926, historian Dr. Carter G. Woodson initiated Negro History Week to promote the study of African American history and address the erasures of African Americans from textbooks. What began as a time of learning during the week between President Lincoln and Frederick Douglass's birthdays has now expanded to become Black History Month. To celebrate, I like to teach you important parts of our history that happened right here in Sacramento. In the mid-1800s, Black pioneers, many of whom were formerly enslaved, began to move west, and many settled in Sacramento, seeking freedom and economic opportunity during the California Gold Rush. Sacramento was home to a growing free Black community that fought for civil rights, including voting rights and access to public education. Working in education, I have to tell you about Elizabeth Thorne Scott Flood, who was a 19th century African American educator and activist in California, best known for being the first Black teacher in Sacramento. She moved to California in 1852 with her husband and young son during the gold rush, but was soon widowed and forced to provide for her son in Sacramento. Her son was not allowed to enroll in Sacramento due to his race, so Scott Flood opened her own school in 1854 out of her home, until the Sacramento School Board took over administration of the school shortly afterwards. She later attended the first California State Convention of Colored Citizens in Sacramento, where she joined other activists in calling for better representation and civil rights. In the early 1900s, Sacramento saw a rise in Black-owned businesses, especially along the R Street corridor and Oak Park. Places like Dunlap's Dining Room, founded by Jenny and James Dunlap, became a cultural and social hub for the Black community. During this time period, Robert G. Coleman became a prominent educator who pushed for integration in Sacramento schools in the early 1900s. His efforts contributed to policies that helped ensure Black children had access to quality education. By the mid-20th century, Sacramento's first suburb, Oak Park, had become a thriving Black community. The area played a major role in the civil rights movement, with churches and community leaders advocating for fair housing, education, and employment opportunities. Key figures in the civil rights movement also began to arrive in Sacramento, such as Nathaniel Coley, after graduating Yale Law School in 1948. Coley became Sacramento's first Black attorney and was the legal chair for the NAACP. Also in the 60s, the original Oak Park Preschool was established in 1966 by Sacramento's Eta Gamma Omega chapter of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated as a voluntary summer project. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated was founded on the campus of Howard University in Washington, D.C. in 1908. And it is the oldest Greek letter organization established by African American college-educated women. I am not only a proud member of this sorority, I am also a legacy member through my mother, who was also a member. The Oak Park Preschool Program is one of the very first California state preschool programs established under the tutelage of Dr. Wilson Riles, then the state superintendent of public instruction and the first African American to hold that office. To learn more about Black history in Sacramento, I would recommend looking up Sankofa Learning Excursions at sankofalearning.org. It's a nonprofit that immerses students in Black history and cultures in the Americas. Or to learn more about Black History Month, you can always ask a teacher. Thank you for watching Sac City Teaches Black History Month.